break the walls of love.
Welcome to the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1969, the premier sports show about local high school sports, featuring coaches, players, and special guests. Now, here is your host of the Saturday Sports Line, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
So this makes it an out-of-bounds play underneath the Lady Jays' back basket as Avery Johnson will take it out. She finds to the far corner. Kaylin Tunis pops a three! Splash! Big-time three! Kaylin Tunis, 31-30. And a good Saturday morning to you here on the Saturday Sports Line, the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. Welcome to the Thanksgiving 1-hour holiday special edition Saturday Sports Line. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I'm still eating on some leftovers, so don't have a shortage of food, that is for sure. As, man, you just heard the call from Kaylin Tunis, big-time three this past Wednesday night. The annual night before Thanksgiving battle between the Knox Redskins and the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays continued, and man, was it so awesome to be there for year two for me. Man, was it a lot of fun. The Knox Lady Redskins fell to the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays 51-44 was the final. We had a chance to talk with head coach Whitney Combs and, of course, James Adcock of the Knox Lady Redskins. I'll play their interviews here in just a moment, but I wanted to catch us up on everything else going in our area. Last Wednesday, the Culver Cavaliers boys basketball team started off their season against Rochester at home at John R. Nelson Gymnasium. An unfortunate loss, 70-35 was the final for Culver. They had Adria Guasp lead the team with 15 points and Jonas McEwen right behind him with 8. Tough loss for Kyle Evans and the boys, but I know head coach Evans is already back to work and getting ready for their next game this coming Tuesday against one of our area teams in the West Central Trojans. In action today, several of our area boys and girls basketball teams. Of course, boys basketball is underway now. The North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays will take on the Oregon Davis Bobcats in the nest tonight. 7 p.m. Central is the tip-off time. I do believe that is actually a doubleheader, so the girls would play first, followed by the boys, as the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays host the Oregon Davis Bobcats. The Knox Redskins boys basketball team is in action against Morgan Township on the road at Morgan Township. Tip-off is slated for 6:30 p.m. Central. The South Central Satellites boys basketball team started their season off tough with a tough loss to Wheeler, I should say. They don't see the court until Wednesday against Hobart on the road. Switching over to girls, the South Central Ladies Satellites are in action tonight as they face John Glenn in the launch pad. 6 p.m. Central is the tip-off time. The Tri-Township Lady Tigers and head coach Chris McGowan continue the winning ways as they are looking very strong right now. They will see Culver Military on Tuesday. We wish head coach Chris McGowan and the Lady Tigers good luck. The Winnemac Lady Warriors are in action tonight on the road at Rochester. 6 p.m. Eastern is the tip-off time. The West Central Lady Trojans are in action as they face Michigan City at home in the Trojan Trench. Their tip-off is 1:30 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. Hope Trojan Nation gets out in full force. Of course, we hate hearing the sad news coming out of Francisville, Maderryville area. Our thoughts and prayers are with the entire Trojan Nation. The Knox Lady Redskins will stay home at Harold Weinberg Gymnasium to face Kankakee Valley. 1:30 p.m. Central is the tip-off time this afternoon, as that's a look at our area teams of what's going on. Basketball is in full swing. Swimming and wrestling already underway. We're going to make sure to get some interviews with some wrestling coaches, some swimming coaches over the next few weeks, as well as our basketball coaches. We're going to start having some basketball coaches in next Saturday morning, so you are not going to want to miss that. As we button up this past Wednesday, though, tough loss for the Knox Lady Lady Redskins. What an atmosphere. If you ever get a chance to see the Knox-North Judson rivalry in person, you got to do it. If you ever get a chance to do it the night before Thanksgiving, it is a must in my opinion, and I am so happy to be able to do play-by-play for that game. It's something that stuck with me for quite a long time, a tradition that I love helping continue. But here's sports analyst Terry Minix and I's interview with head coach James Adcock of the Knox Lady Redskins after their 51-44 loss.
I feel like North Judson got us in a frantic mode from the beginning, and we had a hard time shaking that frantic mode. When we did slow down a little bit there at the end of the kind of middle of the fourth quarter, we got back into the game. I think it was a 2-point game one way or the other. We just got to learn to play under control, not get frantic when the other team, because North Judson's flying everywhere. They're an aggressive team. Coach Whitney's got them coached well. They're playing hard, and we knew that coming in. It's just hard to mirror that in practice.
Sure.
Well, I thought you got some really good minutes from Portland. Portland played really well on both sides of the ball. She shot the ball extremely well. Just didn't get enough opportunities. But, you talk a little bit about her. I thought she played one of the better games I've seen her play.
Port has a lot of pressure on her, and she handles it well. She handles the ball for us, and we were trying to work through that a little bit too in practice this week to give other girls opportunity to handle the ball, give her more open shots because she is a decent shooter, especially at a percentage that she shoots. If that three would have went in at the end, we might be talking up here a little bit different overtime type game, but they don't always fall. But she played a decent game, and we just got to fix some things on defense, and I think we'll get North Judson again this season, and we'll give them another battle.
That's funny you just said that, because we had a chance to talk with head coach Whitney Combs, and one of the first things she said is she told the girls in the locker room, hey, we're not done with we're going to see those girls again, so you better be ready because they're going to remember tonight. And I can only imagine after a tough loss like that, the girls in the locker room were chomping at the bit, ready to go for the next one.
And they are. And I told the girls, this is I call it a free game. It's not really a free game, but it's not a conference game. And if we were going to be 50-50, we want to win the conference game. So we'll be aiming for that. Congrats to North Judson. They played hard. They hit a few more shots than we did. I feel like our free throws were down tonight. We're usually better percentage that way. But we'll get better. That's the object of this.
What's the biggest takeaway you're going to take from this game so you can bring it to the next time you play them?
I think just our intensity level on defense, understanding where we're at, boxing out, not waiting for the ball to come to us, but going to the ball. It's everything we've done wrong tonight is very fixable.
Sure.
Right.
And if we can fix these small things, it's going to make us a whole better team. And by the time we get to sectionals and we're in conference play, full swing, we're going to be a tough team to play.
I did see twice tonight where your girls boxed out and the ball actually hit the floor.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was one of them that we, as coaches,
you don't see often.
You don't see. Everybody's
and
jumping.
We practiced that this week, and we said, hey, if it hits the floor, great, but we got to go get it.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah.
When you got slashers like that, like North Judson is, it don't take long for them to get in there and get that ball, and that's just something we learned. I always tell the girls, I take it from Jocko Wilkins, a leadership guru, and he just says good. Okay, we lost, but good. It's going to make us better.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to be. Is we're going to get better as a result of this.
You are. I tell you, I've seen you after the Morgan game. I mean, you played really great there, your intensity, but the other things you gotten them better at. I mean, as far as playing as a team, I thought they did a nice job tonight.
I appreciate that. We talked to the girls. There's 5 girls out there, but there's only one team. And if one individual doesn't do her job, she don't box out, or she doesn't run the right play, or this doesn't happen, it doesn't affect one girl, it affects the team.
Sure. Right.
And so that's something we're learning too. Is we got to walk away and say, understand this is 5 Pistons out there working together, defense, offense, to make this thing successful.
And that's what we always talked about at chain. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that the chain, everybody works together and everybody stays strong.
Yep, I totally agree.
So what's next? Where's your next game?
We don't don't get much of a break. We got KV coming in on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
quick turnaround.
Yeah, quick turnaround. I told the girls we're going to practice tomorrow. They all looked at me with big eyes. And I said, no, I'm just kidding. So I'd probably have some parents calling me tonight if that was the case. But we'll practice Friday, get ready for the game, and then hopefully we'll give KV all they can handle.
Well, enjoy the time with your family. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for your time tonight.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Thanks for your opportunity.
Absolutely.
Great job, Coach.
That is head coach James Adcock of the Knox Lady Redskins. Always appreciate a chance we have when we are able to talk with him. He's a really good speaker. Of course, he's a pastor. So he's really good at.
You were pretty good in your best behavior when you're talking to a pastor. I didn't realize that. That was nice.
Notice that?
I did.
You did notice
really
that?
Good.
Well, God may be watching.
Mama's listening, but God's watching.
We also had a chance to speak with head coach of the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays, Whitney Combs. Of course, both head coach James Adcock and Whitney Combs are in their first year as the head coach of their program. Of course, Whitney Combs has been on the coaching staff for the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays the last few years. And head coach James Adcock coaches cross country and boys golf at Knox. So these coaches may be new, but they are very, very good leaders. Here's what head coach Whitney Combs had to say after the big-time win for NJSP.
It was a dogfight for sure. They are very scrappy and they pressure the ball hard, and sometimes we were ready for it and sometimes we weren't. So we know what we have to work on from that.
Yeah, from that game, Whitney, what are you going to take from that? I mean, obviously the win is a great thing. You can celebrate tomorrow, but a couple of things you got to work on. Obviously, I know you're playing Oregon Davis on Saturday, but
yes, we do.
But what are you going to work on come Friday when you get back in the gym?
For us, we just have to worry about ourselves. Sometimes we come out and practice and we're a little bit lax. We really need to come out and practice at focus, because I feel like you practice like you play. Yeah. And we played how we practiced all week. Not very good. Right. So the girls know. Well,
the one thing I thought in the fourth quarter, you took some ill-advised threes when you had like an 8-point lead, 9-point lead, and they turned out because you guys were aggressive enough to get the rebounds. But is that kind of in your game plan? Is that what you want them to do?
We haven't worked on a lot of situational stuff yet. I mean, we're all still learning how to play with each other, right? We only have 2 girls back from last year that played in the varsity time, so we're all learning how to mesh. And I mean, we'll work on that as the season progresses. That's something we definitely need to work on, but we'll have some of those situations going on in practice so they can learn from them. And we really just need to calm down. I feel like sometimes we want them to play fast transition basketball, but there's a time and place for it. And, at the end of that game, we really needed to calm down a little bit and play our offense instead of rushing it.
And that's what I was telling Mitch. I think it's one of them things that I like, I want to be able to tame a horse, not rile one up. And both teams have got a bunch of wild, they're aggressive as all get out. So you just got to learn, and they got to learn what your expectations, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I told them they're going to have to, we have another game with them, they're going to be ready for us. So we got a lot to work on before then, and there's going to be other teams that are aggressive too. So I think that was a really good win for us, and I'm very proud of the girls. And the Knox girls, they did an amazing job too. They played hard. They battled it out the whole entire time.
It was just a good game. It was and the atmosphere. You got to talk about the atmosphere. I mean, it almost felt like a sectional basketball atmosphere, really. I mean, what's that provide to a team early on in the season when they're in these situations where it's a packed house? I assume you appreciate that as a coach to get that experience for them.
Yes, that is exactly it. Especially with us having some starting freshmen. They haven't had a packed house like this. You don't get this in 8th grade.
Right. No.
So I'm glad this game wasn't our doubleheader, because I know our doubleheader is going to be more packed. So I'm glad they hopefully got the jitters out this game and for the sectionals.
What was your overall opinion on the full court pressure? I thought you guys did an amazing job in the full court press. It really kind of stalled Knox from getting going early, and you guys really took off from the beginning.
It did. Kylie Lehigh up there at that point on the 1-3-1, she's just a force to be reckoned with, man. She's got her arms and legs everywhere in that. I think we did really well to start, and then they kind of figured out how to break it. They just kind of threw it over our heads. We would creep up a little bit. We worked on that, but we're still working out the kinks. But I was very proud of them.
Well, you shot a lot of free throws tonight. You guys,
which isn't a bad thing.
Well,
we make them. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I did like 34 free throws. I think you made like 14 or
Both
so.
teams,
Yeah.
we were foul happy tonight.
Yeah, it was. We were wondering who was going to be left in the game.
Right, exactly. I don't know. We just need to really focus on our free throws. We've been working on them a lot at practice, and I hope to continue to get better on them during the season because if a close game, free throws matter a lot.
Exactly. It was a good win.
Yeah, Coach, I appreciate you coming up and talking with us. Congratulations on the big-time win the night before Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you all as well.
You as well.
We continue our Thanksgiving 1-hour holiday special edition Saturday Sports Line after the break. We're going to talk with our Tyler Roth WKVI co-athletes of the week, the Knox Redskins' entire offensive line for that football team. My goodness, they did so well. Our biggest athlete of the week interview ever coming your way next. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Babies in the running around, hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the street.
I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you.
And
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
And everybody out there, enjoy the family time. And then, come Friday, when girls are in practicing, boys are in practicing, people are out shopping. It's basketball season, baby. Let's get it rolling.
It feels good, doesn't it, Coach?
Yes, it does.
Our final in this one, 51-44. The North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays beat the Knox Lady Redskins in this historic rivalry the night before Thanksgiving.
Give me that big idea.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, we know that when agriculture thrives, we all do. It's the heart and grit of our agricultural communities that keep the crops coming in and the livestock cared for. Hi, I'm Isaac Blue, your ag lender at First Farmers here in Knox and North Judson. Thank you for all your hard work. And when you're ready to talk about taking your ag operation to the next level, come by for a visit. Let's harvest success together. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Let's continue the conversation with area high school coaches and more on the Saturday Sports Line.
Welcome back to the Thanksgiving 1-hour holiday special edition Saturday Sports Line here on 99.3 FM WKVI from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. We are talking about our Tyler Roth WKVI co-athletes of the week. Yes, co-athletes, plural, as we named the entire offensive line of the Knox Redskin football team this past weekend. I had a chance to sit down and talk with all 9 individuals. Yes, the Knox Redskins used a 9-man front for most of the season as they achieved so much. The best Knox Redskin football team ever. The first regional championship, the first semi-state appearance. These guys talk about it and talk about their whole career as well as this season in particular as I had a chance to sit down and talk with them. Without further ado, here's my sit-down interview with our Tyler Roth, the WKVI co-athletes of the week, the Knox Redskin offensive line.
I am with our Tyler Roth WKVI co-athletes of the week, the entire Knox offensive line, all 9 of them. I've got them here. Don't know how we were able to put this time frame together for all of us, but this is awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. Let's go down the line and tell us all who you are. What is your name, your grade, your number, and your position?
I'm Noah Bolin, junior, number 68, and I'm an offensive guard.
Logan Taylor, I'm a senior. I wear number 24, and I'm a fullback.
Caleb Schwant, I'm a senior. I wear number 45, and I'm a tight end.
Landon Howard, I'm a senior. I wear number 71, and I'm a guard.
Dominic Triska, junior. I wear 44, and I'm a tight end.
Easton Minix, I'm a sophomore. I wear number 88, and I'm a tight end.
Isaiah Jones, I'm a senior. I wear number 77, and I'm offensive tackle.
I'm Keiston Dixon. I'm a sophomore. I wear number 74, and I'm offensive tackle.
I'm Tucker Burns. I'm a sophomore. I'm number 72, and I'm a center.
Well, guys, what an amazing season. The greatest Knox football team ever. And I said it last Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line, you could take that to the bank and cash it because that is how big of a season this was for you guys. You know, on the season, you guys helped the Redskins achieve 4,648 rushing yards on the year.
You also helped the team get 65 touchdowns on the ground, averaging 7.4 yards per carry and 332 rushing yards per game. And, I mean, my goodness. This is the biggest athlete of the week interview we've ever had, the biggest co-athlete of the week interview we've ever had. Let's start with the center, Tucker. I mean, seriously, we haven't had a chance to hear from you quite yet. When you think back at the start of the summer to now, I mean, to me as an outsider, what a magical run it was. What did it feel like for you?
Well, I just remember when at the beginning of the year, I was really weak, trying to get back into sports after my surgery on my knees and stuff. My parents just kept on trying to help me. We had a couple problems here and there, but we got those pretty quickly resolved. We got back to church, and I think church really helped with just everything. It was really good, and it's just as we were progressing through the weeks and winning, I just kept on praying that this team could just heal up quickly for the next week and keep on doing well. And if I could, the only thing that I really regret is not winning state for the seniors. So.
Well, Tucker, I got a feel for you on the knee injuries. I know how that feels, but you've got to have a special relationship with the quarterback, or who is being the quarterback at that particular time. Of course, we saw Rowan Jordan take snaps. We've seen Jake Conroy take a few snaps at practice. We even saw Miles McLaughlin. Talk about the relationship you have to have as a center with your quarterback.
Well, to start off, it's me and Miles, we're almost childhood best friends, if anything. I met him in kindergarten, through middle school, all the way to high school. It's an awesome dude. I would just love to be with him. He's a really good friend. It's just every day for practice, you got to practice snaps, and then he would throw, and I'd just catch, and just keep on repeating that. We talk from time to time, just see how each other's doing, see how each other's family's doing. It's just a really great guy. Rowan Jordan, I can't say his name. He's really nice, really cool dude.
Keyston, I got to ask you, man, you're on the offensive line. You fought hard all season long. What is it about the sport of football that you really like?
Well, just hitting people, really. And my buddy Landon over there, he helps me out a lot, and it's just great to be on the offensive line and helping out the backs. And that's really about it.
Well, just sitting here talking with some of you guys, it sounds like this is almost like a brotherhood. You guys are joking with yourselves, picking on each other, but yet you're there at the end of the day. You're there to help each other up. What's it like being on this team? Would you consider this a brotherhood?
Yes, it is.
Isaiah, let's talk about what you accomplished this season, part of this offensive line. We heard from head coach Russ Radke. He said freshman year, or sophomore year, he wasn't sure if you were going to come out for football, and he was able to get you to come out with some of the other coaches, and now you end up playing all through your high school career. When you look back at everything that you've accomplished here at Knox, what's something that sticks out?
I would just have to say it was definitely this year. We made history so much, and just the run was great.
Yeah, Keyston, I got to ask you, what was the run like? You become sectional champions, then you become, back-to-back sectional champions, then you become first-time regional champions. What was that feeling like for you, Keyston?
It felt great.
So, Easton, we'll move to Easton here. What was it like being on this team this year? You go 3-0, then 6-0, then 9-0 for the first ever undefeated season in Knox football history. What was that like for you?
I mean, like you said, it's a brotherhood. I mean, I couldn't have done it without the seniors telling me what to do if we mess up. We're always going 100%. Just practicing, going as hard as we can.
What is it about the sport of football that you enjoy, Easton?
I just love hitting people. I just love the feeling of just getting under a kid and just driving them.
Well, and we saw several times throughout practice, throughout the year. It was pretty intense out there, practicing. Do you think the practice is attributed to your guys' success through the season? It looked like you guys really prepared each other during the week.
Oh yeah, it gets heated out there, but it prepares us for the best.
Dominique, we talked to you last week. Really a superb year. And like I said in our social media post, you guys have nothing to hang your heads over. You better hold your head high because you made Stark County proud. The first ever regional champs, the first undefeated season, 4,600 and some odd yards on the ground, and you were a part of that. What's that make you feel like?
Makes me feel good, especially to be a part of it with all these guys. I mean, we made history, and that's all you could ask for. Like the seniors, after the game, seeing them all cry, but, I mean, it was fun.
Well, and it's a tough thing to go through, and trust me, I've been there myself. It's part of life, and you guys really gave everything you had, and you made Knox Redskin Nation proud. I hope you saw the sideline there in Indianapolis and how packed it was. What was that like, knowing you had Redskin Nation behind you?
Oh, it was good. I mean, looking over there, you see everybody on the sidelines like cheering and stuff, and they're getting hyped before the game. Even there was like maybe 100 and something people there. It was packed. It was crazy.
Landon, let's move over to you now. Let's talk about the sport of football. A lot of guys on the offensive line, it's not the most glamorous position. You guys don't get a lot of the limelight, but yet we were able to do this today, and part of the reason you guys were so successful was because of what you and the rest of your O-line did out on the field. With all the accolades, looking back just here on your senior year, what comes to mind when you think about what you guys have accomplished?
The juniors and sophomores, mainly, because they've come so far from the off season. Especially Keaston. That man is a dog. He is a dog.
What is it about him in practice? What's Keaston do that really fires you up, man?
Mind blocking. Mind blocking for sure.
Well, explain to us what mind blocking may be to someone who doesn't know what football is.
It's where you go down and you just hit the first guy you see that crosses inside your gap. And whenever I look over, he's just laying on top of someone.
What is it about football that you enjoy, Landon?
The seniors and being around everybody there.
What was it about this senior class that was so special? There was a lot of them. What was so special about this group of guys?
I love them. They're like my brothers. We played together since probably Pop Warner. Built that chemistry up. We just kept building, and then hopefully we made it to state this year, but it's all good. I'll take regionals.
Do you think this is something that will continue after high school? You think you'll always stay in contact with these guys?
Yeah, I think helping Coach White out, blocking next year, like being a coach.
Oh, really? So you see yourself potentially being someone that would like to stick around and help as a coach in the future?
Yeah.
What makes you kind of want to do that? Coaching is not an easy job, as I'm sure you know. What makes you want to do that?
The game of football, I just love it. Can't stay away from it.
Can't stay away
Always
from
love being on the field.
Well, Caleb, let's move to you, man. Didn't end the way I know you wanted it to. We talked last week, but you guys played so well, and you did all season long. You only lost one game. Where a lot of teams lose several throughout the season. What was this magical run like for you?
It was amazing just being with all my brothers and coming in and day out, competing throughout the week and winning a bunch of games. It was special.
I got to ask you, what is it about football that you enjoy? I know we're getting ready to go into basketball season, and you're going to do quite well there, but just to button up, what was it about football that you enjoyed and why you came out every year?
Just the brotherhood and being able to hang out with this big family all the time and joking around and playing football games.
Logan, we had a chance to talk last week, or was it the week before? I can't remember. But both, yeah, that's right. You're just one of the main key staples on this team. You're also on the offensive line. When you think about this offensive line, this whole unit here sitting at the table, what comes to mind?
Just dogs. I look around and I can trust every single person on the team to do their job, and just dogs. Just get it done.
Would you agree, like we were talking a minute ago, this is a brotherhood at this table?
For sure. I don't know what I'd do without these guys.
You think you guys will stay in contact after high school?
Yeah, definitely.
You were talking about a little bit earlier about recruiting some of the guys when you were younger to come out to play, and it seems like you always went to your friends, and you've got a lot of them here at the table. When you think back at your whole high school career here at Knox, what comes to mind? Can you share with us, the history, the memories? Is there anything that sticks out over the whole career?
There's so much. just hanging out with everyone, even not even like after games, hanging out, just the friends and memories I made. It's just too much to talk about. Just so much.
Noah, we had a chance to talk before. What a great year it was. You guys are so good, and the best Knox Redskin football team ever. When I say that to you, Noah, what's that make you feel like?
I touched on this a little bit last week, but it's really mind-blowing to think how far we have came from where we started, and that we could, we earned the title that we are the best Knox football team. I came in my freshman year. I talked to Caleb last Friday. I came in my freshman year. He was pushing me so much, and at one point he was even like, I don't know if you're going to get it done. Like, you got to get in the weight room. You just got to get bigger, get stronger, get faster. And all this work that he has worked with me on has really helped me out, and the team as a whole. These seniors that are graduating have pushed us so far, and I hope that we can continue on with that method so that we can continue to grow and be the best football team in Knox history again next year.
Wow, well, that's a pretty big statement. You think about all the work that you've had to put in over the last several years, and would you say you're probably in the best shape of your life because of these guys?
Definitely. I mean, if I thought in middle school that I would, not only me, but the people around me, how much we've all changed with the pressure of these guys pushing us and the people around us, I'm definitely in the best shape, and I think everyone here at this table could say that they're at the best shape they've ever been.
So this may be something you carry on later in life, too. What you've learned being on the football team here at Knox is something that you're going to take on in your life and stay in shape.
Definitely. Not only staying in shape, there's so much that you can pull away from football and apply to your life. And that's one of the best things for me is that, there are so many life lessons that you don't even mean to learn playing football, but you do. You can apply so much from football into your life, the hard work, the staying in shape, good dieting and all that, There's just so much you could pull away and apply to your life from football that's for the good.
Logan, let's talk about that. He's really good at hitting it on the head there. What are some things that you can take away, that you're going to take away from your time playing football here at Knox?
Hard work wins. I mean, if you look at us, it felt like we're always the smallest team. We're always smaller than who we played, but we worked harder and we won. So you work hard in life, you're going to go far, and you're going to do a lot of good things.
What's something that you think you're going to take away from playing football, Caleb?
I think what LT said, just working hard throughout everything you do and giving it all 100%.
Landon, talk about what you're going to take away from playing football. It looks like you're going to be coaching. You're wanting to coach here soon. What have you taken away from this sport that you hold so dearly to you?
I mean, you just work so hard. Coach Rex especially just pushes you to your max, and he wants you to exceed everything. And
yeah, what are some life lessons that you've learned, Dominique?
I mean, one thing I learned especially from the seniors is you want to push yourself to the max, and that's how we got all those wins.
Easton, when you think about the sport of football, what do you think it's taught you?
To never give up, to never stop, just keep pushing and keep fighting for what you want.
Isaiah, what do you think the sport of football has taught you?
It's definitely taught me a mentality, just to go out there and do my best no matter what I'm doing in life.
Tucker, what do you think football's taught you?
Well, I know it definitely taught me some obedience, because there was times where Russ just kept on getting on my nerves, and sometimes I just be back and forth, me and yelling at him and him yelling at me. It's just not a good time. But after that, we make up. I make sure to do things right next time. He makes sure to just keep teaching me. And other times it would just be good sessions and good practice where Coach White would tell us what to do. Coach Russ would be on the same page with Julio. Everything would be good. And I really think obedience played a really big role in that, and it just really helped everything.
Let's talk about Coach White for a second. What did he bring to the table that you appreciated being on the O-line? As he was the O-line coach, what did Coach White do for you that you really appreciated?
Well, he really just taught us a lot. He kept us down, kept us just making sure that we were just low, making sure that we just keep on practicing. and that if anything, he just makes sure to he would get on us about scout reports, and he would talk to us and make sure that we know what we're doing, and they would try to get on the same page. And I really just appreciate that about Coach Wright, because he's truly trying to do everything to win this, and I appreciate that. The same could be said with Coach Short. I know he does a lot, and he's a really kind person. Everyone's kind on that team. I appreciate everybody. Like everybody said, it's a brotherhood, man. They're all my brothers.
Absolutely. Keeson, I got to ask you, what about O-line coach White? What did he provide out there that you appreciated?
He taught us everything that we need to know. He taught us how to stay low, how to mind block, back block.
Talk about Coach White, Isaiah. What was it about him that you appreciated, him being the O-line coach?
Oh, I appreciate everything Coach White did for us. Through all my years, he's taught me everything I needed to know, and he looks at every single offensive lineman before every game, and he says the game wins with us, and he believes that 100%.
Talk about Coach White for a second, Easton. What did you appreciate?
I love Coach White, and he was just the type of guy if you can't get it right, he'll stay there for hours with you just working on it.
Talk about Coach White, Dominique.
I mean, other than this year, I never really talked to him until Easton got hurt and I started playing. But he was always there for me. He was like, if you know what you're doing, you're going to succeed. And basically, he taught me everything I know about offense.
Talk about Coach White, Landon. What did he do for this offensive line?
He did everything. He taught us everything that we knew, what we did in the games. That's everything that we learned from him. He's a really good person. I love him.
Coach White, Caleb, tell me about him.
Oh, I love Coach White. He taught us everything we know about linemen and blocking and stuff, from the little stuff, from your footwork to the hands and everything. It's great.
Yeah, it's fun to go to practice and see Coach White. He's got the energy. Logan, talk about Coach White and what he provided for this O-line.
Oh, like you said, he gave us energy every day. He always gave us a great speech before the game, and my biggest memory with him is before game, like on away games, he'd pull you into his seat on the bus and give you individual pointers of what you need to work on, and he knows what he's talking about.
Talk about Coach White, Noah.
Coach White really shined a light on the situation. If you were ever feeling down, he always made an attempt to cheer you up. And, kind of what Logan said, before every game, he would pull you aside and really pick out some points that if you just changed, he knew how to make you better. He has the leadership skills. He makes you feel good. He's just there for support. If you need anything, he's always there for you.
Tell me your parents' names, Noah.
My parents' names are Shannon and Terry Bowen.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
I touched on this a little bit last week, but my mom, she's there for me all the time. She's always in the stands after the game. Whether I had a good game or not, she's going to lie to me and tell me I had a good game if I had a bad one. But she's so much to me. She's been through so much and helps me through everything. She's really there for me all the time when I need it. Right next to my dad, who's always encouraged me to get into the gym and has always supported me, and he's helped make me as good of a football player as I am today.
Tell me your parents' names, Logan.
Ben and Becky Taylor.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
They're everything, every single game. They're always there. They're always supporting me. They really help me stay humble. After winning all these games, they're always like, well, you already won. You got a next one to worry about. Who cares about it, So they've done a lot for me.
Caleb, what are your parents' names?
Keith Schwant.
And talk about the support system he is for you.
He's everything. He's always giving me pointers and telling me I need to be more aggressive after games and stuff, and always coaching me up about what I need to do better and how I can get it done.
And you appreciate that?
Oh, yeah.
Landon, tell me your parents' names.
Amber and Kyle Lehman.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
Kyle, he pushes me. He texts me every day when he goes to work and tells me to kick butt out there. He tries to get me to get bigger every day. My mom, she's been my supporter ever since I started playing football. There's nothing more I could ask for. She's the best.
Dominic, tell me your parents' names.
Chris Dominiak and Steve Triska.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
My mom, she's always there. She's at every game. She's always in the stands after the game. She comes down and tells me good job, and then she's asking me what the team next week is going to be. And then my dad, after the interview last week, he got me a new pair of cleats. He's doing everything he can to help me get better on the field, and I really appreciate that.
So what's he going to get you after this interview?
I hope a new car or something.
There you go. You listening, Dad? Easton, tell me your parents' names.
Hank and Ember Minix.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
My mom, she's kind of the good cop no matter what. She's always at my games, tells me how good I've done, even if I don't do good. And then my dad, he's like, all right, good game. Now it's time to work on this and this and this.
And it just must mean the world to you to have your family in your corner like that.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I couldn't ask for any more.
Isaiah, tell me your parents' names.
Alicia and William Jones.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
My mom is a great support system. She's always there at my games no matter how far they are, and she always makes the effort to show up. And then she tells me when I'm at home, to do my job and keep it up. And then my dad, he's a lot tougher, but, he always likes to say we're going to lose to try to bring a mentality out of me to, go play my hardest at the next game.
Keiston, tell me your grandparents' names.
Pam and Corey Bailey, and they are my support system. My grandma has been at every single game this year, and after the game is over, she's always coming down to tell me how great I did, and even if I don't do great, she's always there for me, and she always will be.
Tucker, talk about your parents. What are your parents' names?
I got Greg Burns, Heather Burns, and God.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
Well, Dad, he's always off work trying to get money for us, so, I had to get my braces, $1,000 each, and I had to do rehab and everything like that. It was truly a hard time for me, but I got through it. My parents pushed me through it, and my mom, she's always just trying to make sure that I'm fed, that I'm well, that I'm clean. She's really there for me all the time, and God, it's just been so close to me and helped me in so many things. It's such a good thing to have a relationship with God.
He was out there on the field with you every game, wasn't he?
I prayed every day before a game.
Absolutely.
Yep, I prayed before it, I prayed during it, I prayed after it. It's a great thing. Make sure to stay humble. Make sure not to boast. Just do everything you can to be better.
Do you think faith has been something that has helped you through the process of not only just sports, but maybe school and life in general?
Everything. Faith has so much to do with it, but I can't say how much faith I have. I can't say how much faith I've lost. That's up to God to decide how much faith I have. I can't judge anybody else, just how much they judge me. And I just want to say God really does good works, and he just does really good miracles, and I love him so much.
Man, you're a sharp young man, Tucker. God bless you. Talk about what it means to you to be a Knox Redskin.
It means a lot. There's pride in it. There's just happiness. There's joy. There's fulfilling in it. It feels good to be part of a team that's something more than just yourself. And, it's just an extra hobby that you could do. It's something that just brings out happiness and excitement. And I just really appreciate the boys just being out there and practicing with me every day. And it's just such a good thing.
What's it mean to Keiston Dixon to be a Knox Redskin?
It's amazing, and being on this football team with all these people, they mean so much to me, and they've always supported me, like the coaches, and it's just awesome.
Isaiah, what's it mean to you to be a Knox Redskin?
It means everything. I think it's more than just being a Knox Redskin. I think of it as a lifestyle, and you just dedicate everything to it, and it becomes a part of you, and it'll never leave you.
What's it mean to Easton Minix to be a Knox Redskin?
It's everything. It means the world to me. We're just family here.
What's it mean to be a Knox Redskin to Dominic Triska?
It means a lot. I think we're more of a family. You go to that last pep rally we had so many people there, and you had the old Knox Redskins telling us that we're good and stuff. That's what you look forward to being here.
Talk about what it means to Landon Howard to be a Knox Redskin.
It means everything to me. I've my entire high school career been around these guys. I wouldn't ask for anything more.
What's it mean to Caleb Schwant to be a Knox Redskin?
Well, it means everything. It means you have everybody's back, and you'll be for everybody and be a big family and have each other's back.
What's it mean to be a Knox Redskin to Logan Taylor?
It's the whole world to me. You got the support from the community. When you're a Knox Redskin, you don't just get love from your family, you get love from a whole town, and it's really something special.
What's it mean to Noah Bolin to be a Knox Redskin?
Really, it is building the family. And I want to touch on what Logan said a little bit. He said, you don't only get love from your family, but from your community too. But I like to involve the community into this Knox Redskin family. Really, they're always there supporting us in the prep rallies and the going to these places. I wasn't expecting Friday night to look over and see hundreds of people in the stands. And the community support that we get, it really does feel like we are just one big family when it comes down to Knox Redskin football.
Seniors, raise your hands real quick. What's your message, Logan, as a senior to the future Knox Redskin football players?
Just grind and work hard. It's going to be tough. You're going to get screamed at. You're going to get hurt, but fight through it, and you'll win games.
Caleb, what's your future message to Knox Redskin football players?
Enjoy the moment and focus on the little things, because that's what's going to matter the most in life.
Landon, what is your message to future Knox Redskin football players?
Just keep working. Don't give up. Play every snap like it's your last. You never know when it will be your last.
Isaiah, what's a message that you'd like to share with future Knox Redskin football players?
Just work hard, and again, like they all said, stay in the moment. Just breathe it in, take it in, and enjoy it while it lasts, and try to beat our season.
All right, guys, congratulations on being named our Tyler Roth WKVI Co-Athletes of the Week. What an accomplishment. You guys are the greatest Knox Redskin football team ever, and you get to say that. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. That was the biggest Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week interview ever. As you all know, we normally name one athlete per week. We just decided to bend some rules as these offensive linemen did such a fantastic job for the Redskins all season long. They deserved it. Big time thank you to Athletic Director Neil Minix for helping me set that interview up. As we are going to take a break and come back for the Where Are They Now segment with Harold Welter. He's got Hank Orkis in the house. You don't want to miss it as we continue our Thanksgiving 1-hour holiday special edition of the Saturday Sports Line after this. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Miles McLaughlin takes the snap, hands off to Jake Conroy up the middle. He is still on his feet, gets the first down and more. Now he's in Blue Jay territory before he's brought down at the 45-yard line. It looks like a game of pinball out there, Chris. From shotgun, ball on the Redskins 44, sets his man in motion. Yates takes the snap, hands off up the middle to Pruitt, still fighting his way forward, breaks the tackle, first down and more to the 30, now to the 25 to the 20, and he's going to finally be brought to fumble on the play, and the Redskins come up with it. Oh man, big time recovery by number 3, Jaden Strong. A huge run by Seth Pruitt. He lowered his head and tried to truck a Redskin over. It didn't work. They stripped the ball. The Redskins were prepared.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
It's time now for Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of local high school sports coverage on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Today's program is brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox. Now let's meet one of the local high school sports figures from more than 50 years of WKVI sports and find out where are they now.
Well, after more than 50 years of covering high school sports in the Kankakee Valley here on WKVI, our guest is is Hank Orkis, and he is a guy that spent a lot of years as a coach at North Judson-San High School, and with the success of Stark County football this year, we thought it'd be a fun time to talk with Hank, because he coached a lot of football for 40-plus years?
43 years.
43 years. So you started when you were 5.
I started I was 22. I started in 1966 here.
And, of course, that, Hank and I go back, because that was the first year that I was in sportscasting down at WRIN in Rensselaer, and he and I have talked a lot of football over the years, and he is a Hall of Fame assistant coach in football, spent a lot of years as a head track coach, but I always wanted to ask you this, Hank. Did you ever think about being a head football coach?
No. To be honest, no. It was all the other stuff that goes. I liked the coaching part. I didn't like all of the
other stuff.
Yeah.
As we go back and we call this Where Are They Now? Well, we know that you're retired now, but what do you do with all your spare time?
Well, I did for a long time duck hunt a lot until this year. I hung that up because I have 4 grandkids. One of them is at North Judson with my son, and the other 3 are at Hobart. One of them is involved in Pop Warner football, Hobart Wrestling Club, soccer. So I do a lot of going to games and other things like that. I like to fish. I still take a trip to Canada every year and that kind of stuff, and work around the house, work around the yard. I'm in a battle with leaves right now, so I've got plenty to do.
Going back over the years, and I want to talk about football. You were the track coach for a long, long time. Going back over the years, what is the one game or the one meet or the one incident that you remember more than any other all these years later?
Truthfully, I believe it was 1985, and we had not allowed a touchdown in the regular season. And we were playing South Central in a sectional. And I remember David Haw, who was a tremendous secondary place person for us and also a great receiver, went to pick off a pass, and a kid from South Central caught it and went X number of yards for the first score of the year. And I'll remember that one play probably more than anything.
I think Bob Schellinger was the coach at South Central, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that was the only score you gave up all year, and you've never let Haw forget that either.
I try not to.
That brings up something. You coached a lot of outstanding players, and when I say outstanding players, I don't mean just football players, but people who have been so successful in life, like David Hall, like Butch Smurt, and they all attribute some of their success in life to playing high school sports.
I just think you learn an awful lot on any team sport. I'm prejudiced against, for football.
Right.
But I think it does more than a lot of the other ones, because you got a situation where you have a minimum of 11 people trying to cooperate and do things well at the same time. And I don't know how anybody cannot see the benefits of high school sports.
You go back a long way. You graduated from Hammond,
correct?
Right? And back in the day, before the playoff system, they used to name the mythical state champion. And Hammond, was it Wildcats?
Yes, it was.
It was, yes. The Hammond Wildcats were the mythical state champion your senior year, right?
Correct.
What position did you play? How did you contribute to that?
Offensive guard.
So you didn't play defense?
No.
So how did you become a defensive coordinator?
Russ told me that's what I was doing.
Of course, you worked under Russ Radke, but you also coached when he was playing.
Correct. He was. I came to Judson in '66. He graduated in '71, and he played and then disappeared for a while at Purdue North Central. Student taught, I believe, at Hammond Gavitt and coached a little bit there. And then when Les Thornton left North Judson to go to Griffith, he called Russ and said, hey, that job's open. So the next thing I knew, Kevin Brown and I were talking to Russ about the coaching job.
And you mentioned Les Thornton. He was one of our first guests ever on the Saturday Sports Line. What made him such a great coach?
He got along with kids, and he knew how to handle kids. And on top of that, we had good athletes. We had the Christensen boys, and Kevin Brown was our quarterback, and Rusty Kearns was a fullback, and Richard Christensen. We had athletes.
Yeah. Well, part of that was over the years you helped develop those athletes. You had a lot of your football players on your track team.
Oh, yes, yeah. Back in those days, kids didn't want to specialize as much as they do now. You had a lot of three-sport athletes.
Yeah.
They were busy all year.
You know, one of the things, and we've talked about this over the years, is those athletes who specialize. When you go to like professional ball games, and you look at the background of the athletes, most professional athletes were multi-sport athletes. Correct. In high school.
That's what I think. Yeah, more so. I think more so in football than basketball, but you're right. I think you have to be multi-sport.
Well, for one thing, it works different parts of your body.
Definitely. It's the coordination of a basketball player is going to obviously help. The leverage that wrestlers learn is going to help football-wise. It's going to help in all kind of sports. I hate to see kids try to concentrate on one thing.
You know, in 2023, both Knox and North Judson had a lot of success in football, each team winning the regional. Knox, of course, going through an undefeated season, and with Russ Radke as the coach. Did you ever think that Russ Radke would be the head coach of the Knox Redskins?
Now, I never had such a nightmare.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, because Russ has been coaching for 47 years or something like that as a head coach. What does make him so effective?
Russ is, I don't know how to say this, he's fixated on doing things the right way. And he puts an awful lot of time in it. And he's had good coaches everywhere he's been. I mean, if you look at his Knox staff now, you got Russ from North Judson, you got Teddy White from North Judson, you got Bo Radke from North Judson, you got Tyler Radke from North Judson. He just had people that are invested in the program.
You know, one of the things that it has always impressed me about Russ is it's never about him. I mean, and to the point that when the Knox Redskins had this great pep rally, he was not the one who got out on the floor and talked about the team. One of his assistant coaches did.
Yeah. Russ has never been that way. We inducted him a year ago, at the Knox North Judson game at North Judson into the Indiana Football Hall of Fame. And the reason we did that, because he was stubborn and didn't want to go through it. And I finally said, if this is the only way we're going to get it done, we're going to have to do it that way. So I got a hold of some of the people down in Indianapolis that I'd gotten to know over the years and said, hey, can we do this? They said, yeah, why not? So it was a total surprise to him. because I saw his wife at the Knox Rochester game the week before and said, I'm going to tell you something, but you cannot tell Russ. And she said, well, I won't tell him, because if I tell him, he'll hide somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think we surprised him pretty good. He was kind of curious why his one son from Minneapolis happened to be at that game. But we got it done, and he's more about the kids than him.
Yeah.
Always has been.
And he's had some great players. There's no doubt about it. I want to talk with you a little bit more about your coaching of track. Who were some of the outstanding tracksters that ran for you over there at North Judson?
We had, I think probably one of our better ones was a kid by the name of Jimmy Styberski, who also happened to be a heck of a football player. He won a regional in the high hurdles up at Gary, which is an unusual situation,
right,
for us. The Gum family, Andy Gum, was a heck of a distance runner. A little kid by the name of Chad Scutchfield, who's about 5'7", jumped 6'6" in a high jump.
Holy smokes!
The Comiskey boys, two of them, I remember one of them was a 6'6" high jumper. Of course, nowadays, that's nothing. Nowadays, if you're not 7 foot or 7'2",
you're not going
anywhere.
anywhere.
Going to go anywhere, right? So we've had quite a few good athletes go through North Judson in all sports.
Well, again, I think part of that is because you've had some great coaches like you that brought those athletes along and encouraged them along the way.
Yeah, I'm glad you think that.
Our guest here on our Where Are They Now segment is Hank Orkis, a former assistant coach of the North Judson-San Blue Jays football team, and himself a Hall of Famer. And we'll continue our conversation after this timeout.
Need a game plan that has your day covered from tip-off to the buzzer? Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox has you covered. Whether you like to start out with a caffeinated full-court press or control the tempo with a Subway breakfast flatbread, Osborne's Mini Mart has what you need. Don't get trapped in the corner with an empty stomach. Call a quick timeout and get 2 hot dogs. Visit Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox at the corner of US 35 and Highway 8 East to guarantee you win the day.
Our guest here on our Where Are They Now segment is Hank Orkis, a longtime assistant football coach and head track coach at North Judson-San High School. Hank, you grew up in Hammond, and we mentioned in the first segment that you were a part of the mythical state champion Hammond team back in the day. Who are some of the people that influenced you as an athlete growing up?
I think the one that had the most influence on me was the head football coach at Hammond High that year. Was a man by the name of Bernie Kruger. Bernie he'd been a quarterback at University of Illinois, and I think he had a lot of effect on what I wanted to do with my life. I can think of another coach who was a track coach. He was a Big Ten pole vault champion at Ohio State. I don't even remember his first name. We called him Whitey Wanzowitz. That's what his name was. And he was a guy that he was a geography teacher. I enjoyed his class. I enjoyed track, working with him, and all those kind of things. I think those two people, and I could also go back to even middle school, had a couple of coaches there that had an influence on what I was going to do. Both of them have since passed, obviously.
So that's kind of why you got into coaching, because
pretty much,
those guys influenced your life so much.
Pretty much. I know when I first interviewed for the job at North Judson, the superintendent was Kermit Weddle, and he offered me, he wanted to know if I would be interested in coaching, because I had played some at Ball State. And I interviewed down there, and when he offered me the job, he said there's a football coaching job. And at that time, Les Klein was still the coach at North Judson, but he was in the process of moving to Lowell and taking the Lowell job. And I coached 1 year then with a gentleman by the name of Dale Alt, and he left after 1 year to go to Alexandria. And then Les came in, and Les was there for 10 years, I think. Dick McClure for a couple years. Russ for 10 years. Gary Cox for 14 years. Kevin Cox for a few years. So very, very few coaches. We didn't have a lot of turnover.
Right.
And the staff stayed together pretty much.
And that's kind of a big part of the success that North Judson's had because of that stability, isn't it?
I think so. I think definitely, yeah.
I do have to ask you if you remember a game that when you and I were both starting, me in sportscasting and you in coaching, down at Rensselaer, the North Judson-San Blue Jays. Well, at the time, I guess it was just the North Judson Blue Jays. Playing at Rensselaer, and it turned into a track meet. I think the final score was 62-40 or something. You remember that game?
Yes, I do. Denny Epler scored 7 times. Kenny Dozel scored 5 for us, and their staff was a bunch of Hall of Famers. Chris Giesman, who later went to Penn High School and won new. Oh yeah, I certainly do remember that.
And Bill Siderwitz was the head coach.
Siderwitz was the head coach. Giesman was an assistant. I can't think of them right now, but some of the other assistants went on to be Hall of Fame head coaches too.
Yeah.
They had a heck of a staff.
That was one. If it wasn't the first, it was one of the first couple of games of that second year that I was broadcasting down at WRIN, and I never forgot that game and how exciting it was. And it taught me probably more about doing high school football than any game I ever broadcast.
Yeah, that was definitely something that you don't forget.
Finally, Hank, let me ask you this, and you got grandkids of your own, and I'm sure you talk sports with them. What advice do you have for young athletes who look to have success?
I think the biggest thing is to have fun and enjoy yourself. I don't think winning is necessarily the big thing. I think enjoying what you're doing, having fun while you're doing it, is going to be more beneficial than anything.
Well, you certainly had a lot of fun over the years. There's no doubt about that.
We did.
And we could go on with these stories. As a matter of fact, we probably ought to have about a 2-hour show someday and just talk about the stories, the ones we can tell on the radio.
Well, I think, I really think next year you're going to be able to follow the Blue Jays hopefully a long way.
All right, we're gonna take that little clip right there and save it, and we're gonna play it next year. There's Hank Orkis, our special guest on our Where Are They Now segment. I'm Harold Welter. Thank you for joining us, and join us again next week here on the Saturday Sports Line for Where Are They Now?
Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of high school sports coverage on WKVI has been brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox.
Join us each Saturday morning on WKVI for the Saturday Sports Line and worldwide on WKVI.com.
Time now for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, given in memory of Tyler Roth, a 2001 graduate of Winnemac High School who died in an auto accident 1 week after his high school graduation. His legacy of hard work, outstanding citizenship, artistic success, and super athletic performance lives on with this award, given every week to outstanding student athletes from the 8 schools in the Kankakee Valley. Today's award is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winnemac, and we'll tell you who's earned the Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week after this word from Web Printing.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack and signs of all kinds in Winnemac is where all of your printing needs can be met. Whether it's paper, garments, or signs, Web Printing is your full-service printing solution. So if you're in need of embroidered or screen-printed garments, tickets or programs for your event, or documents for your business, Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack is the place to go. For the quickest service, best prices, and best quality, it's Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winnemac.
Our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week for this week is Grace Sieber a member of the basketball team at Culver Community High School. Grace is having an amazing season for the Lady Cavs, all ready to start the year. She is averaging 8 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, 4 rebounds a game, and 5 steals a game. Coach Neese told me he appreciates Grace's leadership and drive as she makes the whole team better. Grace is the daughter of Denise and Ryan Sieber, as we congratulate Grace Sieber of Culver Community High School, our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. Grace will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a t-shirt commemorating her achievement, and will also be a future guest on the Saturday Sports Line. She will be eligible for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year award later this spring, which carries with it a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of WKVI and the family of Tyler Roth. The Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac. I'll make sure to get with Miss Sieber this week, as that is going to wrap things up for us. Our Thanksgiving 1-hour holiday special edition Saturday Sports Line already in the books. We appreciate you joining us each Saturday, as I hope all of you enjoyed your Thanksgiving and holiday break, but it's back to work first thing Monday. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Soak it in, because it's back to work. Make sure to keep up to date throughout the week on our sports checks. Follow us on all of our social media sites, on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X, formerly Twitter, at KVB Sports, and on Facebook at Sports to the Max for all Kankakee Valley Broadcasting sports content. Take care. I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI, you've been listening to the Saturday Sports Line with Sports Director Mitch Columbi and Sports Analyst Chris McGowan.